Terrell here, and I'm back again with another review for Koala Man coming to Hulu Monday, January 9th. All 8 episodes are going to be streaming on the service and ready for your laughter. um, it's like we've been getting a lot of mystery around Koala Man. You probably heard about it, you probably seen a picture of it, but it's finally coming, and I can tell you that I got to watch all 8 episodes of the show, and I had a freaking blast from beginning to end of it. It's so freaking great. Let me give you a little description of like what you're in store for, besides a guy running around in a koala mask, saving his town. Um, Story follows a father in the town of Dapto in Australia, who dresses as a koala to do away with petty crimes such as like graffiti and making sure people follow traffic signals and stuff like that. And then it, of course, escalates as the show goes on because nothing is as simple in the town of freaking Dapto. The show is created by Michael Cusack, written by Dan Hernandez and Benji Senate. And I gotta tell you, man, having the opportunity to talk to them multiple times, throughout San Diego Comic Con, and hear more about this, New York Comic Con stuff like that. Finally able to do interviews with them, which will be on the channel as well after this. You guys check it out. And get a little bit more insight as to what the show is going to be about. Because, like I said, the show has been surrounded in mystery, and as you can see from the poster here of Koala Man, that we got from San Diego that they're passing out during the press thing that day. The show was absolutely just wild. I mean, we're talking about from episode 1, which is Ben Day, where our main character Kevin is he's the lead on his street. No, nobody knows how to put trash out on the street unless Kevin puts his bins out so that everybody follows suit. And of course, when they don't, giant monster comes out the freaking middle of the earth of Australia and attacks everybody. This is just an example of the day in the life of a Daptonian or Australia. One of the things that I do notice is they definitely dial up the Australianisms to 1,000. So I've asked what was something that you wouldn't be able to get away with, and apparently there's just nothing that was on the table that wasn't acceptable. I mean, Hulu was fair game to all of it. Keep in mind too, this is also this is Michael Cusack and Dan Lim show, but also with the help of Justin Roiland, creator of Rick and Morty, and his other show that is currently on Hulu, which I consecutively keep forgetting the name of, and I'll watch it all the time. And you can definitely see, I mean, with the of course with the animation style, it's a particular style used, but of course the story and everything is what matters. The characters themselves, who get into the voice actors for them. Michael Cusack is doing the voice of Koala Man, Kevin, and the voice of his son. Had to look that up because I could not find his voice actor. Sarah Snook from Succession is playing Vicky. His wife, Demi Lardner, who's playing his daughter Allison. And of course, Hugh Jackman, who is Big Greg in the show, who does an amazing job of just being just a world-class asshole, just a dick throughout the whole show. And I would like to believe that Hugh Jackman is actually like Big Greg in real life. He's going around just being ridiculous. And I don't want to spoil too much, but he's slightly in love with a fish. But you'll get to that in one of the episodes. The show is amazingly voice acted. When you hear an Australian accent, it kind of it almost seems like it's almost cartoony, but this is what these people really sound like. And Hugh Jackman, when he's constantly talking in his American voice, for the longest time I thought he was from the UK. I thought Hugh Jackman was from England, man, and not Australia. I would have never threw a dart at the dartboard and said, man, Hugh Jackman's from Australia. The show also builds up kind of a consecutive story to story episode, where there's an overarching story that builds up, so everything is canon from one to the next. And Koala Man, eventually goes to fight his arch nemesis throughout the show, which is, they show it in the poster and everything, it's a freaking giant bird. But you get to the conclusion of that, and I think everything is built up to the last couple episodes of the finale, which a lot of shows do now. They of course I feel the last 2 or the last 3 of a season will be like the combination of everything that happens. Um, for like most shows do, like when they do a finale, and they do it the same way here. This is clearly like a labor of love with the show, and they did a really really good job. I loved everything about it. From them establishing an episode called the Red Hot Rule, where apparently because like Australia is in a different time zone, they have the advantage to know what happens in the future because they're ahead of us or they're behind us, something like that. So they're prohibited from interfering with the timeline of North America or the United States. So whatever. That's the Red Hot Rule. I wonder if that's like a real thing in Australia, but I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous here. And we had an episode where another thing I didn't know about Australia, they have a thing called show bags. Show bags are apparently like just like regular Dollar General bags of like, we have them here, but like different forms, but like they're like, I guess like market bags, like kind of like market bags where they have like your favorite character or something on them, or whatever, but they'll have like randomly assorted. I want to say show bags probably the equivalent to like those loot crates and stuff like that, where you spend like $30-$40 a month and then you get a bunch of trinkets and maybe a shirt or something that you don't really like. Yeah, that's exactly what show bags are. That I'm sitting here thinking about it. But they introduced that and get into a lot of the Australianisms. Of course, they get into dingo fights. They get into kangaroos, carjacking people. Kangaroos just angry, and just so many ridiculous things throughout the show. I think one of the most ridiculous things in the show is the fact that nobody knows Koala Man is Kevin, or they just choose to ignore it or they don't care. And I think that's the biggest funny, because Kevin, or Koala Man, doesn't have superpowers. He doesn't have a utility belt, which I was kind of hoping they would have gave him a belt or something like that. Kind of my biggest thing, but I guess just him just being a regular guy, unlike Batman with money and martial arts training and everything else. And Kevin has a family of twins and a wife that loves him. Unlike Batman, who doesn't, who's constantly loaning on top of a rooftop crying about his family. No offense to Batman. But I really like Koala Man. Like I said, this was definitely worth waiting for. This 2-3 years of animation labor of love, according to Michael and the crew, how much time they spent into this. And, I'm most sad there's only 8 episodes. I really wanted more, but I know how long animation takes. So I'm not complaining about that. Koala Man just wants you leaving for more. And I can't wait to get a season 2. Really cannot wait to get season 2. I mean, the entire cast of this, the storyline here is amazing. And just outright ridiculous. If I had to, this is obviously like Rick and Morty with like South Park versus whatever, but in Australia. You're gonna notice some familiar characters. I don't want to spoil some of the guest stars that are in the show, voice acting guest stars, but you'll hear it. But you'll be surprised when you come around. And some of the villains, man, and some of the bad guys in the show is absolutely ridiculous. And you just shake your head the entire time, but you enjoy it. But the show, like I said, Koala Man, 8 episodes, coming to Hulu. Like I said, I really enjoyed the show. It's definitely a rewatch for me. The show is hilarious. I'm recommending it to everybody. The most infectious thing about this show is the freaking theme song, the Koala Man theme song, which I'm sure was sung by Michael Cusack. The song is addictive, man. I cannot get it out of my head every time I watch the episode. I can't skip the intro because I love it. Plus, they do a different thing at the beginning of each episode where he gives you a Koala Man tip or like a Koala Man fact throughout the show every episode, which makes it even funnier. But like I said, I really enjoyed the show. It's hilarious. Definitely worth the rewatch. I loved all the characters in this. I'm hoping season 2 they kind of build more in the town, because it seems like people die in the show when they come back and there's just kind of no explanation as to what, or they don't die, they just get gravely hurt and they come back and it's just like, all right, whatever, keep moving. But like I said, a really good show. Coming to Hulu Monday, January 9th, 8 episodes. Make sure you watch all of them. Freaking hilarious. Michael, Dad, Benji, you guys did a great job. To the rest of the cast, you guys killed it in your roles. Like I said, check out the theme song. It's addictive. And let me know what your favorite episode was, because like I said, I can say I have a few, but I don't want to drop any hints or spoilers or anything like that. Maybe like I said, I'll kind of get in the comments. But let me know what your favorite episode was after watching this in the comments about the show, and we can kind of get into a discussion about it. But other than that, Koala Man was amazing. Check it out, Hulu. And this was the review for Koala Man, Defender of All. See you guys next time.